Okay, thank you, John. Now we're going to move on to the IRP2 Grand Challenge Research and Development at Minority Serving Institutions, MSIs, with Jenna Payne. Jenna, are you here with us?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you just fine. Thanks.
Oh, great. Thanks, Julie. In case you guys weren't with us during the UNLP discussion, my name is Jenna Payne, and I'm part of the Office of Nuclear Energy's University and Competitive Research team. I'll be serving as the federal point of contact for IRP2 scope, Grand Challenge R&D at Minority Serving Institutions. So this scope is pretty wide open. So I just want to go over a few things to keep in mind as you develop your applications. Happy to answer any questions at the end of this if I can. If I can't, I'll pull in Dr. Gilligan and others for an assist. Applications for the scope must be relevant to any mission. It's specifically provided in a flexible format to allow research teams to define the relevant topical areas to propose. So MSIs, including historically Black colleges and universities and tribal colleges and universities, must serve as the lead on the project. MSIs, in fact, must comprise 80% of the overall budget. Partnering organizations, including those from national laboratories and industry, can be up to 20%. Excuse me. Applications should focus on broad student involvement, and duration is up to 3 years, and an award size of up to $1.5 million. You can go to the next slide, Julie. Okay, so we are looking for applications that address one or more any mission-related technical areas that advance nuclear engineering research and development at MSIs. So you tell us the grand challenge that needs to be addressed and how it can be looked at, how it can be solved. Keep in mind that the intent here is to further develop nuclear expertise and capabilities at MSIs. So again, tell us what should be addressed, provide the approach while highlighting the capabilities of MSIs, and with particular focus on broad student involvement. So that is actually it. Pretty wide open, but happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Jenna, can I just add something?
Of course, please.
Yeah, this concept of a grand challenge for MSIs came out of our engagement committee recommendation of MSIs and HBCUs primarily. So it didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of a recommendation from that group. So the purpose is to develop real capability at a collaboration of MSIs and HBCUs. So that's really where this came from, and I think will satisfy a need.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. We do have a few questions here and a few more coming in. The first one is, there was mention of broad student involvement. Can you elaborate on that and what it means?
Well, you know, obviously students are involved with all research, you know, going on with at universities. So I think the more of that you can show, as well as undergraduate students, not only grad students, but undergraduate students. As another example, NNSA, which has a collaborative kind of thing with MSIs, they send their students to national labs for a summer or something like that, or a semester, showing, in fact, that's the only funding they provide. They don't fund any research per se at the MSI. So we're trying to develop capability at the MSI as well as keep student involvement high as well. So it's up to you to define that and how best to do that.
Okay. Are we expected to partner with DOE national laboratories?
I don't think it's expected. I think it's a possibility. You can do that. You might get a national lab to throw in their own money on something like this, you know, who knows? So that would help the budget for sure. So Partnering with national labs is not a bad thing, but it's not required.
Okay, thank you for clearing that. Are equipment purchases allowed for this IRP?
Yeah, I think just like any other IRP or R&D project, equipment purchases are allowed. So yes.
Hey. If a minority serving institution is also a research university, will it be eligible to lead?
The answer is yes. MSI is an MSI, and as long as you meet the criteria and listed under the proper places as an MSI, you can certainly do that. And I don't know how it would be accepted by the review committee. That's another question. But yeah, absolutely, you can apply and lead, and that would be fine.
For the Grand Challenge at minority serving institutions, can proposals focus on one class of materials that have applicability in a wide range of reactor types?
Yeah, I think that would be great. I mean, that's just, we're asking you to define what that challenge is, and certainly materials is always one of those, problem areas, whether it's, cladding or, structural materials or anything else. Yeah, absolutely.
Would a team of multiple MSIs be accepted, or is it expected that the team would include a non-MSI?
I think the rule that we've set up is only 20% can go to a non-MSI. So 80% of the money has to go to MSIs.
Thank you. And then the last question I see right now is, where can we find the list of MSI institutions?
Drew, I think that you've said that there's a Department of Education federal list that defines various MSI kind of categories. And we'll probably put that in the FOA, I believe. But as long as you can justify yourself as an MSI and your partners through that federal Department of Education website or list, then I think we're okay.
Yeah, and John, to add to that a little bit, to clarify, it typically is listed, the link to the Department of Education website. There's some other helpful resources, like I know Rutgers University, for example, keeps an MSI directory. Point being, if there's questions or you feel like your university has been excluded from the Department of Education list, there is a process to contact DOE to provide information about potential MSI status to be evaluated by the department. And the statute for those MSI lists, as most of you are likely aware, is defined on that Department of Education list. And so you can look through that statute, and if there's information that you can provide where the department can consider those factors, then that would be information that you can provide to the NUP office, and we can have that evaluated by the department.
I think we can also post the link out if we do a Q&A on this topic. So that'd be another place that folks can access the list.
Yeah, that would be good, Aaron.
It's a great idea, I think, too. Okay, everybody, that was our last question. And so I want to thank all of our presenters in this session and in all of the sessions today, and thank the attendees for joining us today.